Sword Goldfish America. I'm Zach
Johnny
Nanimus,
Dim.
and you have stumbled into episode 6 of the new War Pod in Space. Coming to you live from Neo Tokyo,
Is that where
keeping the
we're at?
soul of the city alive. Jet Set Radio, radio!
You know they're making they might be making a Dreamcast Mini.
Okay.
I think that's
I mean,
great. Jet Set Radio is a great game.
I have a Genesis Mini.
Hmm.
You know what I almost never use?
Your Genesis Mini.
My Genesis Mini. Almost never. Um, I mean,
Well, we
emulation works.
emulation works, sure, but like I have like the legit Dreamcast. We played some of those games. Like we even streamed them. Those
Yeah,
are
but
I
that
think they're fun.
no, yeah, Dreamcast was an amazing
Yeah.
system. There's one of the reasons that I actually got into illustration was because I wanted to make a unofficial, basically a very complex fan fiction manga for Power Stone.
Mm.
I'm such a big fan of that series that I wanted more of it, and I knew no one was going to make it except for me.
Sure.
The Dreamcast was a special thing. Um, and I think one of the big things about it was that I was so big into Japan.
Hmm.
I was such a big weeboo right around that time that I was obsessed with Shenmue.
Yeah.
And I sank hours and hours into that game, and I wasn't very good at games, and so like there's this one part where it's a quick. Do you know the structure of that game?
Shinmu.
Yeah,
From what I understand, it's just walking around.
it, the creators of Virtua Fighter wanted to make
It's supposed to be
a
somewhat immersive, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they wanted to make an RPG, and so it's part Virtua Fighter, part QuickTime events, which they didn't even have a name for those back then. There was one game that was very famous for them, and it was always like Dungeon Explorer, so they always called it Dungeon Explorer style action events or whatever. Um, and then a lot of it is just wasting time. Often you're not put in a direction, and you just have to walk around and talk to people and figure out what's going on. And there's this one thing where you get a job at the docks, and you have to do that job, by the way. You have to show you get a job as a forklift operator,
Hmm.
and you and you have to go to your job and you have to fill your quotas.
Jesus.
Um,
Okay.
and the point of having that job is that you'll have access to the dock at night,
Hmm.
and you have to sneak into the docks at night. And the QuickTime events come out of nowhere, so you'll be watching a cutscene, and then suddenly, oh, you accidentally bump a table, and a flashlight's going to fall off, and you have to hit down to catch that thing. And if you don't, you fail the QuickTime event and the mission, and you have to retry it the next night.
Hmm.
So a whole day has
So
to
you gotta
pass
waste the whole
again,
day of
which I
time.
would just go to bed. I would
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Um, but it still progresses the calendar forward. So I spent like a month trying to do a month in game trying to do that one
Nice.
sequence. Um, no, so yeah, so that's basically what it is. Um, and one thing that I really wanted to do relatively soon was to revisit that game to figure out whether or not I'm just some kind of
Hmm.
chump that played a boring game. Because one of my favorite things to do in the game was to visit the
Hmm.
arcade and play
Sure.
Space Harrier. So I may have not liked Shenmue at all. I may have been a big
Yeah.
Space Harrier
No,
fan.
from what I understand, I think that game's supposed to be an acquired taste. At least that's the from what I understand of it.
It's an
Yeah.
excellent idea, but there needs to be there needed to be way more Virtua
Sure. Sure.
Fighter
Sure. Sure. I
in that
understand.
game because those are interesting. Those sequences are interesting. Um, I actually felt so strongly about being good at the Virtual Fighter parts of it um, that I do the practices, and when you do the practices, you learn the new moves, and I found all the ultimate moves, and then I got to a guy. I actually had to fight him in the arcade, and he's got like this zombie like golem thing going on. Um, and I was beating the crap out of him for like 5 minutes. And then eventually I got to the point where I'd learned all of his patterns and I could do my very best move, which was countering one of his punches, putting his own arm behind his back, and then driving my elbow into the
Hmm.
back of his head. And I did that 10 times,
Okay.
and he still wouldn't go down. And then I was like, what if I just let him beat me? And then
There's
I
thinking
did
with your
that, and
dipstick.
it triggered the next cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it triggered the
Nice.
next cutscene.
Of course. When you can't beat him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
um, but I think they have a Shenmue 1, 2, and 3 out if you want to try
I
that,
don't.
Johnny.
I don't. I really don't.
You have no
Not at all.
interest in this game?
No, no. I've got a list. I've been trying to. I've written down some of them. I have like these little notepad things, like virtual notepads on my phone of like list of things. I've got a list of movies and TV shows I need to watch or I want to watch, and I have one I think I started on video games, but I haven't sat down and really put it together. Every time I think about playing something new, I think about the games I've bought that I wanted to get caught up on. Like I bought the Xbox One upgraded version of the BioShock collection. Yeah, I want to
Oh,
play
really?
that. I I've decided I'm not going to get a well. I don't have a job, so it would be irresponsible for me to get a new Xbox Series X right now. Um,
Is it
in like
out?
2 3 weeks, yeah. So,
Okay.
but I am playing the Taco Bell sweepstakes, which worked for me once. So, um,
Well, let me
yeah.
ask you this, Johnny. At the rate, take the average cost of the kind of meal that you
Well,
get
that's what's great. That's what's
at
great
Taco
about this. They
Bell.
usually do like the some type of chalupa meal or something. Um, they
Hmm.
must have not. Microsoft must not have allotted them very many because either that or it has something to do with the pandemic. I don't know, but all you have to do to enter this time is buy a medium or large drink.
Yeah.
So the
Uh,
meal is it's not quite an investment.
so you're more likely to just buy a
I
drink.
have been. I've done it 3 times
Well,
already. Yeah,
oh, okay. So your average, your
it's
average.
like
Let
two,
me
it's
let
like
me
a little
bring
over
my
$2 in
calculator
tax, and you
here.
get a large drink.
Right, but you also eat there
I
sometimes.
haven't recently, but yeah. Hmm.
Oh no? Okay, then I'll
Okay.
ballpark you at three. Okay. And how much is an Xbox?
Uh,
Was
no, no,
seven
no, no,
hundred
no,
dollars,
no.
eight hundred
Five ninety
dollars,
nine.
$599? Say $600.
I
So
think that's
six
right.
hundred divided by cost. So at your 200th drink, you could have just bought an
Okay, that's
Xbox.
fair. I won't buy that many. I promise. Well, there won't be enough
No?
time. They're not going to do them. I think they're only going through like the first week of November.
I've been playing my Switch a
Hmm.
lot lately, and I realized until Xbox and PlayStation change everything about their business, there's no reason to buy their products.
No reason to buy whose products?
Yeah,
Okay.
PlayStation or Xbox. Yeah, there's no reason to. Their products are not distinct enough from a computer.
Well,
The Switch, vastly different from a computer.
not just any computer. Like it's a high end gaming PC. That if you have a high end gaming PC already, sure, you don't need an Xbox Series X.
It doesn't have to be high end. It can be okay.
Medium to high,
The,
medium to high. Like
mm, but
my computer is not that. I mean, it's a. I would need to upgrade the graphics card on my computer and the RAM, and then I'd be okay.
and how much would that cost you?
A few $100. It,
There you go. That there's your answer right there.
yeah. I said a few hundred. It would probably cost me more than $500.
Why? To have it installed?
No, you
Install it
need a.
yourself.
I wouldn't settle for Okay, without going and running the numbers, I think it's pretty
Uh,
close. I think it's pretty close.
mm, you know what? We'll do analysis. We'll both do homework, and we'll come back
Yeah,
next
we'll
week.
have spreadsheets and. um, no, I
Um,
see, and that's something I always put off upgrading my computer because I could have done that a long time ago. Um, and I think it was Nvidia just came out with some really sweet ass graphics cards, and they're relatively inexpensive. Um, well, no, I always put it off, and that's why I've always been a console guy because that's another thing you don't factor in. It's just, and that's something our generation does a lot of. Is just buy into the convenience of it. It
yes, I think that that's the
yeah.
biggest selling point. And it's something that I said, close to when we first started the show, 8 years ago, was that I always envisioned the future of gaming being like sort of an external hard drive, so to speak, that you plug into your computer, um, and it acts as, or maybe an external disk
Mhm.
drive system, that you plug into your computer, and that's a guarantee that all of your Xbox games work as long as you have this attached to your computer. All your PlayStation games work as long as it's attached to your
But the
computer.
future of it, really, to be honest, what we know is eventually going to happen is even less consumer hardware than that, even because they're
Are you talking about Stadia? Don't talk to me
no,
about
well,
Stadia.
no, it's not Stadia, but it's a similar technology, and that's what Microsoft is already doing. And Microsoft is playing it smart, and they're making the slow transition because obviously the infrastructure is not there across the country. Um, to do something like Stadia. What Xbox has is what's it called, XCloud, which is now available for or soon will be. I can't remember if they launched it officially yet. But if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you get that automatically built in, and you can just play on your.
And what is it? I don't know anything about it. What does it do?
So I've already used it because I was in the beta, and you can just I can stream it straight from. I don't think it comes straight from my Xbox. I think it comes from their servers to my phone, and I just use a Bluetooth controller, and I'm playing an Xbox game on my
On
phone.
your
I was
phone?
playing, in fact, and it was a one that was pretty demanding of the system, which was Horizon 4. Yeah, not
Horizon? Is that a racing
yeah,
game?
Forza Horizon, not Horizon, the PlayStation Horizon.
Okay, for Horizon
Yeah,
Zero
not
Dawn.
that one.
And it worked on
Mm-hmm.
your phone? Oh
Mm-hmm.
God. So what is it borrowing processing power from the
Yeah, I think
server?
it's supposed to be all being done on the server, on their servers.
And so basically, God, what is it just like creating an instance of the video output on your phone, and that's all your phone has to do is display the video
Pretty
output?
much. It's just a yeah, it's just
Really?
a vehicle for the video. And it was funny. Now we're way away from this, but there was talk. I remember someone said in an interview. I can't remember who it was, but what they're looking at eventually doing. I think this was Stadia people were saying this, but what eventually they want to do is have the technology so good and so advanced that um, they would know what all of your potential and probably likely outputs or inputs from you on the controller, almost predict what those will be and almost like preload them before you actually hit the buttons, so that it almost it's a little better than it's closer to real time. That's technology that they're working on. They're very far away from that, but that's what the next level is.
That would that would take all the piss out of it. No, no joke. No, because here's the thing. Not only is it too close to the RoboCop reboot
Right.
for my liking,
Hey,
uh,
you know what?
but
Shit on it all you want. I actually enjoyed that movie.
no, that's got it has some excellent ideas and really really interesting body horror. Um, but the other thing is that it's actually a more disingenuous experience, and we know this because um, the the workarounds for the problems with inputs, they change the game in ways that are satisfying, but it's
Sure.
not what happened. Like sometimes there's straight up server errors in the middle of a first
Mm,
person shooter, and how they deal with it is
mm.
they kill you. And how'd you get killed? Stray bullet. Where'd it come from? Must have come from somebody. No. What happened is they lost track of you, and they're like, it wouldn't be fair to
Oh
just
shit!
skip
Sorry.
them over to some other part
Yeah.
of the level, and so you
Yep.
just bullet. And so there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of smoothing over in that way
Hmm.
too, to the point where you don't know where your deaths are coming from, you don't know where your personal actions are
Sure.
coming from, and it's going to be Tappers of Grayskull or Unity
Oh
League
god.
all over again, where you don't have to
Yeah.
touch the game to play it
Was that the
and
name of
win.
that game?
You win. Yeah, you win 5 touchdowns and five
I'll
grand
take it.
slams for 59.99
Well,
a
the
month.
thing is, what eventually is going to happen, there's going to be a game that's going to come out that is going to completely take away the real inputs from you, where they won't matter. Your input won't matter because
Mhm.
the generations coming up behind us, they'll turn on the no fail mode and play those games, like my nephew did, and told me he beat, um, what was it, Mario Run, and because this is when it
Uh-huh.
first came out, and I was playing it on my phone, and he was like, "Oh, I beat that already." I was like, "You beat this, really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes and he turns the no fail mode on, and he goes, "See?" And he starts showing me how he's beating it. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
I've played video games with that nephew, and I'll tell you right now, America, his favorite thing to do in
Oh,
Marvel vs.
that's right.
Capcom 3 is to turn his handicap all the way up and yours all the way down and not tell you and then start the match.
Yeah, he thinks he's sly. I bought him a pair of Sonic shoes recently. I haven't seen him since then. I'm wondering if
Yeah,
he's enjoying them.
he's dead. You killed him. Does make you sink right to the
Gotta
bottom of
go.
a pool. You
Yep,
never stood
gotta
a
go
chance.
fast. um, yeah. Anyway.
um, so actually, I chose this background for a reason. Not only because we're warpod in space, but also it's been a. I know that we've talked about this maybe in half the warpod in space videos, but this is Super Mario 3D All Stars,
Oh,
and
hold on, hold it up again. There was some weird thing.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. You gotta be careful with that. There you go.
I
Yeah,
like it. No, let it go. Here, I'll
profanity,
put it
man.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So initially, I really wanted to play Sunshine because I never played it before. And I wanted to visit Mario 64 because I had a lot of fond memories as a kid. And I kind of wrote off Galaxy because I played it when I was like 25. Um, and I thought of it as a very modern take. I remember kind of breezing through it. But then I
You mind
thought,
if I have a snack while you're doing that?
no, no, certainly. That's the kind of show. Oh no, that's a segment. That's a segment. Save it. That's a segment.
Okay,
Save it.
I'll save it. I'll save it
Okay.
right here.
Don't. You're giving too many clues. Put it away.
You know, it's not a surprise. I named the episode
That.
Star Wars Cereal Challenge.
Yeah. Well, all I see is like a bit of brown and a mysterious crinkle in your lap, and I don't want any part of it. All right. Um. So. I finished Super Mario Sunshine. I finished 64, and then I was like, I'll just turn on Galaxy. And what I realized is that Galaxy is not harder or easier than Mario 64, the way that I thought
Hmm.
the way that I imagined it being easier. What it is that Super Mario Galaxy is a much more satisfying game
Sure. Yeah, I
because,
believe it.
well, the thing is that you want to play it over and over and over again, and you want to go through the challenges because they feel like real challenges. Where in Super Mario 64 and even in Sunshine, sometimes the challenge is this walkway is really narrow,
Yeah.
and that's it. And
Yeah.
Mario doesn't control great.
Right.
That's
Right.
the real challenge. So you wind up falling off stuff, and it's frustrating because it's just walking across something that's as wide as Mario's shoulders. And if I don't know if you've ever walked across something that's as wide as your shoulders,
Hmm.
but it's easy.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
It's
not
not
hard.
challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you take Super Mario Galaxy, which has tighter controls and is better designed for the process in terms of what you're going to land on, the perspective you're at when you're expected to do a jump and stuff like that. That instead of it being a narrow walkway, the problems are heat-seeking bullet bills are coming at you, and they're going to destroy the walkway unless you unless you move across it fast enough, and they outpace you. So some of them you're going to wind up jumping over. Also, there's bullets coming from this side, which you can shoot with your star bits, and if you fail anything, you fall into a black hole.
Mm.
And as a result, it's all a lot more fun.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot more going on in that game.
but that was my big takeaway from it, where like literally you play stuff like Rico Harbor in Super Mario Sunshine,
Hmm.
and instead of killing you for failure, they drop you into water.
Hmm.
And and when you drop into water, you have to swim to the side, and then you have to climb this stupid thing, and then you have to fight the gusts of wind. There's an enemy that's a gust of wind. I've never killed it once, and they only attack you when you're on narrow walkways that are already too hard to walk on.
Great.
And that's the game.
Fun.
Yeah. So that was my big takeaway from that, and I have to say that Super Mario Galaxy is slowly becoming my favorite 3D Mario. I haven't played 3D World yet. I'm sorry, not 3D World, 3D Land. 3D World's a completely different kind of game,
Yeah.
which I pre-ordered, and I'm going to talk about that for 2 months straight after I get
Oh,
it.
can't wait.
Okay, Johnny, tell us about your mysterious lap crinkles.
My show and tell.
God,
Yeah, this is exciting right here.
here's my favorite thing about this, America. Um, Johnny has never had this cereal before,
No,
and
I
he
we
went
were
he
we were at not Sam's Club. What's the other one?
Costco.
Yeah, we were at Costco. We were at Costco and I saw this. I got the double bag box of Honey Nut
That's what I'm saying.
Cheerios.
You've never tried it. You don't know if it's hot garbage.
No, I waited for this show. This particular episode.
Yeah.
Um, I know it's. I think those are marshmallow the child.
They're not marshmallows.
Well,
They've never been marshmallows.
we're gonna try just the regular bits first. It's
All
like
right.
tastes like sugar cereal.
Mm-hmm. And only a little bit of lead. Okay, if you had to compare it to another one, does it have a Kix sort of flavor? Like a berry berry Kix? I know you said it's sugary. Kix isn't very sweet. Um,
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've had sugary cereal. I'm an adult. I have adult cereal now. This is a treat.
you have pornographic cereal.
I wish with
um,
marshmallow genitalia.
do you, do you remember
Um,
Batman cereal?
I've seen it. I don't think I ever got it. So this
You
is
never
the.
had that.
I don't think so. So this is the Yoda, or the not the Yoda, the child marshmallow.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's Baby Yoda.
Well, once it became, I don't think so. I think people actually started calling him what he is,
I,
which is the child officially. In canon, he's the child. Anyway, I'm gonna try this.
okay, it doesn't matter. It's Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it tastes just like the same shit you
Lucky
get.
Charms.
Like Lucky Charms. I'm trying to but the other things. What is that taste? I've tasted that before. It's not Captain
Uh,
Crunch.
uh, is it Trix?
Maybe a little.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be something like Cinnamon Toast Crunch
No, no, no. It's something. It's one of
or
the
Honey
sugary.
Graham.
Yeah, it's so familiar, but I can't place it.
Is there a way to mute myself? Hold on.
He disappeared. Zach, where'd you go? Are you just sneezing?
Yeah, I was sneezing a lot. Okay, I've got something in my nose, and it is tickling. It's tickling all my fun jobs that are up in there. And you know the fun jobs that make you sneeze?
Oh yeah. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh
Culture.
huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. All right. I'm
School.
looking. I'm looking at a list here. You know,
Well,
it's probably Kix. I think
Kix
it's
is pretty
Kix.
bland, though. Its sweetness comes from the fact that it's corn.
Hmm. Well, that's what I think. That's what it tastes like. I can't really tell.
It's just like sugar kicks.
Yeah.
Sugar kicks.
So,
Shoes for hookers.
so what I'll probably do so I can make it through this series, because I mean, it's probably a cereal I get probably pretty bored with pretty quick. So I'll probably put.
It's not supposed to be hours of entertainment. It's supposed to be breakfast.
When you buy the 2 bag box, you kind of hope it's a little more. Um, I'll probably put some in there. I'll mix my Honey Nut Cheerios with it. Just mix them together. Are you are you okay?
I'm about to do something really gross, like on the podcast.
Don't. Whatever you're doing.
Here's what happened.
Did it go to your nasal cavity into your mouth?
What it was a loogie.
Uh huh.
Loogies usually aren't that bad.
All right. Here we
This
go.
one, this one contained one of my nose hairs.
Ah,
That's what was killing me.
that would
So
do
I had
it.
to put it into my mouth, separate the hair from the mucus,
Mmm.
swallow the mucus, and then bring out the
This is
hair.
truly the juicy part of the podcast.
It's just here.
I don't want to. Oh, I can see it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
my
I
hair is
don't.
very coarse.
I don't want to see it.
That
It's not
was
about that
killing
it's a
me.
hair. It's just where it was been,
It's just if I don't explain this, then everybody thinks I'm on cocaine.
which is fine too. We don't judge you.
It's actually better. We prefer you be addicted to
Right.
cocaine rather than to hear anything about
Right.
your music.
We like the. It's the devil we know.
That's what my school nurse told me. Third grade. She's still eating me.
All right.
Okay. Oh, is it corn pops?
Corn pops.
Did you ever have corn pops?
Oh wait, is this corn pops right there? Oh shit! It might be corn pops.
Okay. Yeah, it's never an original product. They never put a lot of effort into the recipe.
It's from General Mills, which is not Kellogg's, which is what corn pops is.
Right, but like it's
Right.
it's puff corn, sugar, and a protein additive that
Mm-hmm.
keeps it crunchy,
Right.
which I never wanted.
Because you want soft cereal.
I do want soft cereal.
Hmm. Hmm.
Soft cereal was my nickname in high school,
Oh, I didn't
and I
know
want
that.
to relive those glory days.
That's fair. That's fair.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that and saying that it is fair. I never get that reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny Dim,
Yeah.
what you been playing?
What have I been playing?
Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of Visual Studio Code, which is a a oh, what do you call it? It's where you actually write your code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Visual Studio.
Yeah, Visual Studio Code. Yeah.
Because you made a stock simulator. Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
allowed to
I was
reveal
telling you
your
about.
process?
Huh?
Are you allowed to reveal anything about your process? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't matter. It's just, I was doing. I'm towards the end of a web development coding boot camp, and one of the projects we had to build a. I called it a stock trading simulator because you're not dealing with actual money, but you're writing the program where you have like a balance, and you can use that balance to buy stocks, and the app also, like if you put in a ticker symbol, you can search and get stats on a stock, add those stocks to your portfolio, and then buy and sell stock.
And it interacts with a real stock reader.
Hmm. Yeah, there's an API, and it's got a. Actually, I used two APIs because they got us set up with Yahoo Finance and doing it that way. But then I was having trouble, and so I used a tutorial to kind of get me through to make the thing, and they were using a different API, and I was like, I'm just going to use this one to see just to get things started. It was working. It was a good basic, good bones for the app I was building, and so I went with that. And then I also had the Y Finance. I couldn't build this from scratch, but our instructor helped us build a graphing So when you look up the stock, um, we actually build a graph based on the stats over the last year, and you can see the how the stock has performed. It's really cool.
Okay. Um, how how can we synergize this with the Pokemon fad? How do we create Pokemon Stock Exchange?
Okay. Well, is there we had we, there had, would have to be a database in place, or at least a database or something. Does someone keeping track on? See if the Pokemon Company released data about which Pokemon were getting caught at what frequencies, how often, we could build something off of that.
That data's got to be out there because you have individual users.
Hmm.
Then again, can you look at other people's Pokedexes?
I don't know. I don't know if that information is available.
Because Pokemon Go is dead, and this was a failed product
Pokemon.
from the beginning.
I don't think Pokemon Go is dead. It's at a fraction of what it started at.
I never liked him to begin with. I didn't.
As of like about a year ago, I know that our friend Jenkins was playing it.
Oh, that was just to
An excuse to
you know
exercise.
to get out of the house.
um, there's got to be something. If
It's
we
the
could
same
find some
reason old people
data,
walk around the mall.
yeah. If I could find some data on some Pokemon stuff, then I could definitely, I could maybe build something as long as there's an API that I could plug into. I don't know.
Is it worth doing? It sounds like no.
Yeah, it sounds like no, I would. I don't think so. You definitely couldn't make money off of it if that's what you're saying.
Okay, what's your dream project right now? I know you have a lot of assignments. What do you really want to work on with the
I
things you're learning?
I have app ideas that come to mind quite a bit. I wanted to create a game. Um, that one I actually think there's two projects that I think I might actually do eventually, and one of them is a dating app simulator.
So it's a dating sim based around a fictitious app.
Hmm.
That is a really good idea.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
That's an excellent idea.
and what kind of made me flesh that idea out in my head was that I'm playing a lot of Crusader Kings 3 because I think you could really like make something like that into a borderline
You could
grand
really
grand.
purchase a lot of women because you're the king
Right. No,
and a crusading king nonetheless.
hey, you know what? Everybody deserves love. Um, no, I think that I would put elements in there that would be like grand strategy type elements where there's a lot of percentage chance that certain things would happen. Um, you make certain choices and it adds and subtracts percentages to what these different things that could some of it might be just you might have a chance a certain type of you might have a certain kind of date, meet a certain type of person. And like I said, there's choices you'd make that can affect that along the way. And I'd want it to be a game that's similar to Crusader Kings 3, where you don't necessarily uh, there's no win scenario. There's just you're
You just
playing. That's what Crusader
the
Kings
thing
3
about
is.
the thing about a dating app is that eventually you're supposed to stop using it.
That's true.
Uh,
That is true. And
you
and,
know,
and that event could happen, but that wouldn't necessarily be beating the game.
I feel like it ought to be.
Because you could because you
It's
could
like, oh God, I'm about to be in a relationship. I better
well
better send her an
it
unsolicited
all
picture of my genitalia.
well
Nip this in the bud.
here's the thing. So this is my thought on it is that you as the player, because this is like when like me and Marlon play Crusader Kings, it's like um he wants to play a certain way and he has his own personal goals. He doesn't necessarily have to spell that out to the game. He's just trying to manipulate the game to go the way he wants it to go. And I'm doing the same thing, but in a completely different direction. In a dating app, you don't necessarily tell the game what your goals are. You just manipulate the game as best you can to get what you want. The game isn't gonna say, "Oh, look," and have fireworks go off when you successfully find the person you want to date. What?
Okay, we'll see exactly what that capture looked like when this
Oh, because I was
uploads.
doing a bunch of. Did I freeze?
Yeah, you you froze and you were like, I want to manipulate the game to do a certain thing, and then there's going to be a lot of fireworks.
Well, it probably won't do that on the stream because it's streaming from my end, so it's getting
Mm,
the source locally.
okay.
So
Um, Here, the way I see that going is that like you start you start off with like the first round, like the first evolution or the first level, if you want to call it that, is when you're in swiping,
mhm.
and you might even start off with a random roll of
Yeah,
characteristics. And like profile pictures that you can start from, and things about you that you can start from. And given time, you may be able to level up certain aspects. Um, and then or you there may even be optional things if you have some perspective ones. It's like you could get a pet, and getting a pet is going to mean that you're more attractive to certain matches and less attractive to
sure.
others, and so you'd have choices to make, and you build this
Right,
profile, and then you're in swiping.
right.
And then as you go through swiping, eventually you evolve to texting on the app,
Hmm.
and then you evolve to texting with your personal numbers. Getting the personal number is one thing, and then you do a date, and depending on the things that you've learned, maybe there's like a quiz or something like that, and that simulates the date, and then there's a random roll, and then it'll be like you've been ghosted for 2 weeks. What do you you know?
Yeah,
Either that or like straight up married that night, one or the other.
one of those polar. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I thought about doing with it. I wanted to really go in different directions with it and allow, like, I kind of want to allow anybody to. I really inclusion was a big part of why I wanted to do it. Um, like, I wanted to make it to where you can find any body type, any race, any whatever, um,
Mhm.
and whether that person is attracted to you is going to be there's going to be a lot of random variables. So you're going to get a lot of interesting. You may even you may even discover stuff about yourself that you didn't know. Like like, oh shit, like I've never had that kind of person attracted to me before, but I kind of like that idea of making that connection here in this game, and who knows. But
You're talking about it sort of like an immersion therapy for broadening your sexual
maybe
horizons.
maybe
That's a it's an ambitious goal for a $1 app, but I support you.
thanks. I just watched a video today. I don't. I think I love the idea of Easter eggs and stuff like that in games. I'm thinking about maybe putting a My Little Pony body pillow as a possible, like
That's
maybe there's
cute.
a 100% chance, or 1% chance that you come across and you have to swipe left or right on a body pillow. Um, I just watched a video today of three bronies actually getting married to their body pillows.
Not legal in any.
There was
It,
paperwork involved. I'm sure that it's not legally binding, but they
no,
tried their hardest to make it so.
it's easier to marry yourself,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah. I bet.
Wait, and it was a joint ceremony?
There was it was done at a convention, and they were in like a hallway, not a hallway, more like a like how when you work into the George R. Brown, like there's a big walk-in area that's
Hmm.
like one of those areas, and
You know,
yeah.
I think I'd actually be more fascinated by the story of the divorce. How do you not make that work?
Especially, I would give them props if they go the whole extra mile and they actually have to go to court, and there's paperwork and like a paper trail, like their emails and texts between the two of them. If they can,
uh,
if they,
between the two of them.
yes, that guy did a lot of work just to present that pillow's
Are
case.
we kink shaming at this point?
Is it a kink? Because that's a full on relationship.
It can be two
Okay.
things.
No, well, no, that's not a kink shame. And even if it was, Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that. But
Well,
no,
oh no,
what I
I think one thing we can I think one thing we can
yeah,
say is that this belies a certain amount of obsession,
yeah. Well, what I
that
was
may or may not be
right,
healthy.
what I was leaning into as far as the joke is that this guy would have falsified, uh, basically language that came from.
No, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
part
get
was
that.
hilarious to me. Yeah,
If he has better lawyers, will he get half the pillow's stuffing,
possibly, possibly.
or was there a prenuptial?
To be honest, that pillow. I mean, that he probably has a list. There's probably a list that they're arguing over. I mean, that pillow probably had more possessions than just the stuffing. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he probably had a wardrobe and everything.
Here's the problem is that people are going to treat an app like this very much like Pokemon Go,
Hmm.
where you're just trying to collect as many people as
Which is
possible
fine.
to see if you can get that pony
When
pillow.
that as soon as it leaks that there is those Easter eggs, there's people that would definitely try to find them all. Yeah, people
Ooh,
can, but that's the thing. That's the beauty of an app like that, though. People can do whatever they want with it.
well, as far as gamifying it, a balancing issue or a balancing element to the game could be that one of the things that you do in order to advance the relationship is actually add them on social
Hmm.
media. And so if you're swiping right on a lot of different profiles, trying to collect a lot of different girls, and you're adding them all to your
Hmm.
social
Hmm.
media, that's going to increase the chance that they recognize their connection through
Yep.
you.
Yep. You're already
Yeah.
kind of seeing something that
And if you
I was already planning.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if you've gone to exclusive relationship on one of them, then
Yes.
that can actually make the whole
That's
house of cards
that's
fall, and that's a game
yeah,
over.
and that's going to be one aspect of the game that I think a lot of people are going to be really exploring is even if you enter into like a polyamorous relationship, you still have it still takes a lot of the player's focus to balance those things. There's a
Hmm.
lot of balls in the air, and you have to worry about them all. And eventually, you may get someone that may or may not be speaking from experience, but there may be someone who just all of a sudden doesn't want to be in a relationship like that. So you have to deal with those breakups individually. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think that it would be a lot of fun to make.
Would you be interested in having the dating simulator aspect of it be sort of individualistic challenges, excuse me, that are tied to FMV? So you would have your date, and it would be a video of an actor, and and so they're like, so what are you getting? They're thumbing through a menu, and then there's like a random event, and it's like you've got a fart brewing, and you've got to play like a game where you keep a dot in a circle just the right way in order to let it out
You got to do that
silently.
with one finger, and with the other finger you have to select dialogue options. So you're trying to juggle what you're
So
saying while that would be awesome.
and then you have to blow into the microphone in order to dissipate the
Right,
fart
right, right.
because it still came out.
Right, absolutely. No, no, that sounds like
Oh, and you can actually you can hold on to instances like you'll have ammo, and what this ammo represents is good excuses to leave the
there you
table.
go.
So if you need a break for any reason, like if you just don't want to deal with this question,
Right,
this
right,
fart,
right,
whatever
right.
it is, you have three good excuses to leave the table. And then after that, every time you attempt to use it, their how much they like you goes down because you don't seem attentive.
Nice. No, no, I probably wouldn't do any actual video because that would be a lot of work.
Ah,
Yeah.
Johnny, you could be the whole cast.
Oh,
Yeah, you could be all the men, all the ladies, all the
I
body
could.
pillows, and everything in between.
No, one cool thing I did think about doing though was actually using different art styles to represent the different pictures on the app. Like, and that would be an expression of that personality.
Oh, okay.
So like we could make a cartoon of somebody, and that must be a funny person, right? Or
Mhm.
if they're wearing a suit and tie, and then and like and the if it's drawn like with a lot of sharp edges, you can tell that person's business is in serious or whatever. Like
Mhm.
I wanted you to be able to pull from that image parts of the personality of the character.
And if you had more of like a digital brushstroke kind of thing, that may be a little artsier, a little earthier,
Sure,
that kind of
absolutely,
thing.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that would be fun. And what would be fun is if I contracted different artists to do them, because then you get
Hmm.
really expressive stuff. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
A wide range of it.
Okay. Final question, and then we can put a pin in this
Yeah.
one. What's the name
Of the app.
of the app? No, no, not the app. Okay, two names: the name of the app and the name of the game that's inside the app, or the name of the game that contains the app. So first, what's the name of the game?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if you're gonna go download it from the store or whatever, what's
Uh,
that name? And then you want a name for the app that's in the game, and it could be the same name. It could be the
mhm.
same name. If I was leaning hard into the poly realm, which I thought about, I was gonna call it like Polydater or something like that. Um, but I have not put a whole lot of thought into it.
The polyhamorous.
Which
And the Twitch. The twist is that you
all
can
pigs.
only post pictures of yourself eating a ham
Oh, I thought we were
sandwich.
turn out all the characters into pigs. Because what was the
It's a choice.
well that what was that successful
My
Hadamasi?
Little Ponies. You're thinking of My Little
No,
Ponies.
no, the one with pigeons. The dating
Oh, Hotful
hotful
Boyfriend.
boyfriend. That's what it was. That's what it was. And there was the other one that was successful was the one that was all about dads. You,
Deadliest Catch.
no, that's a good one. No.
I don't know. Okay. I heard that there was one
Dream Daddy.
that Dream Daddy. I heard that there was one, and I heard this a long time ago. I didn't give it a second thought. Um, I heard there was one where all the girls were battleships,
That sounds
uh,
vaguely familiar.
battleships, aircraft carriers, this kind of stuff, the large nautical vehicles. When I finally looked it up, I could not have been more disappointed.
Oh, what? I was about to look it up. What's the?
Go ahead and look it
Okay.
up. I don't know the name of it.
I used bad. That was a bad search. I put dating ship's girlfriend. That's not what I.
And what you found is exactly the app we just created just now.
uh, Love Battleship? No, that's not it.
Maybe?
That's on Pinterest. Love Battleship?
I don't know. I don't know. Put in Battleship Girl Dating Simulator.
That's
If you
probably
type that in,
better.
Battleship Girl Dating Simulator.
Battleship Girl Dating Simulator.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's Victory Bells. It's called
I
Victory
just found a
Bells, but Bell
tank
as
dating simulator.
um
World War II
but
battleship dating simulator? Bombshell? What'd you say?
uh Victory Bells. But Bell spelled in the French
I
way.
think there's a lot more to this genre than me.
Oh, okay.
um,
See, what I was expecting was like no like absolutely realistic depictions of these battleships,
that's what I
but
recall.
they have feminine personalities, and that sounded much more interesting than what I found. And it was basically just girls with like robot parts on them that vaguely themed them like the battleships they're named
There's
after. And I was completely turned off by the whole thing at that point.
I'm
When we started injecting humanity into it, no, no.
I don't know about going down this wormhole or not.
You are ankle deep already.
Oh,
So
because there's a lot. Apparently, there's a that anime women as battleships game comes to PS4.
you are very distracted
I'm
right
sorry. I'm
now.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I think we've learned a lot about you today.
There's apparently like this genre of like dating sim games that are like it's all anime chicks.
They're gimmicky.
Yeah, but they're all like this one's just takes place on a battleship. This one,
Well, that's
huh?
that's because dating sims are more popular in Japan,
Yeah, Battleship Bishojo. This one's called Panzer Models Tank Dating Simulator.
and they're all tank girls.
They're all regular girls. I don't know where the tanks come in. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let me just give me 1 sec. I'm watching the trailer. All
Okay.
right.
Do you want to share it?
I don't.
Wait, maybe
Yeah,
not. We don't
yeah.
know
Let's,
what's going to happen in that
that's
trailer.
risky. I'll explain it though. So it's all World War
Okay.
II grainy footage.
Links in the
Yeah, yeah,
description, by the
yeah.
way.
Sad. Okay, then it did a record scratch. Now it's all anime bubbly music, and it got there's clouds, and the name of the game, and it's all that like really bubbly. You know what I'm talking about? Like a intro. Back to
So
the
it
grainy
was really
footage.
dour.
Now we're seeing
It
anime
was really
girls over
dourage.
the grainy footage, and they're um. This makes no sense. T-34 is this girl's name. She's representing a tank, but it's a girl. It's just a girl.
She doesn't even have
They have tank
a machine
names.
gun.
No, it's she's in a scroll girl. Tiger J. Tiger, that's the name of a tank.
Yeah,
They're just in regular schoolgirl like uniforms. M4
so they didn't
Sherman.
try at all.
So these are tank. Do they have tank personalities?
That would be my favorite. Is that they look like girls?
This is
The
so
exact opposite.
confusing. This is a $10 game. Do I am I gonna buy this game?
You know you are. Don't ask me.
Oh God.
You know you are.
I think I'm gonna buy this game. Someone reviewed this game and gave it an 8.6 out of 10.
Is it the only review in the world?
His name's Reagan Wilkins, and he's got a
That's a
there's a
yes.
link. That's not a real person.
Okay, Johnny Dim, I think this is an excellent time to end it
Me too.
because you know what you have
Yeah,
to do. You have to download this game and come back to us with a comprehensive review.
that will happen.
Okay, and until then, I think it's time to say goodbye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
everybody. Oh, I guess I gotta stop the stream. I don't know what's going on.
That's what I say every morning. I'd rather pee for 8 hours straight, but it's